it was really just mind-blowing to visit Cape Castle and to be there and to just know all of the history and how much I didn't even know beforehand. I mean, I think, like, I've been learning about it my whole life, and I feel like I still don't even fully understand it. I don't know if I ever will, and it's just incredibly sad and crazy to be here and learn about it in that way.
We are going to box 100 meters and let us see who is going to win.
Okay.
When you win, I'll give you 100 Ghana cedis. But when I win, you choose what you are going to do to just say thank you or something. But I'm really hoping that I'm going to win. They're just going to do that. Would you ever say that you made a mistake coming to Ghana?
Oh, no, of course not. No,
Why not?
it was the best decision I've ever made, probably. I mean, I've just constantly been surprised by, like, from the people to the scenery, and just everything has been amazing. So I would definitely recommend anybody come to Ghana if they're interested.
They've told our story, but it's been wrong. Keeping it aligned with the message of leading from experience.
Welcome back to the YouTube channel. My name is Ambassador Vix, and I am back with another awesome video. On this channel, we'll talk about the positivity about Ghana and Africa. As usual, Busia Beach is giving me one of the most amazing time and places to visit in Ghana. That is why I've come back to engage foreigners on their Yoruba harness experiences within Ghana and any other African country. If you're interested in content that, give the platform for the people to share their Yoruba harness experience within Ghana, then VicemenTV is your go-to channel. My name is Ambassador Vix, and I'm here to engage this amazing gentleman from the US. Hi, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm being amazing. What's your name?
My name is Oliver. I'm from Boston, Massachusetts, in the United States.
Massachusetts.
Yes, Massachusetts.
You are part of the people that Donald Trump is ruling.
Oh, yes, I am. Unfortunately.
All right, so I mostly engage foreigners for them to share their experiences within Africa. All right, let me know before coming to Ghana, what were some of the perception did you have about Ghana?
I didn't have much of a like well-rounded perspective of what Ghana was like, but I knew it existed, obviously, and I had learned about it actually when I was maybe 8th in school. It was one of the countries that we focused on, which I know isn't common, but I was always aware of it. And I came here because one of my friends was actually doing research, and so I just came to visit her because I was like, I don't know when else I would have the opportunity to come. And so I really came in with no major image in my mind of what it would be like, and I think that that's part of the reason why it's been such an amazing trip, just because I really didn't know what I was going to get myself into, and it was so much better than I ever thought.
Okay, so starting your processing from US to Ghana, the visa process, plane tickets, transportation from the airport to this place, have you or did you face any challenge?
Well, my bag did get lost. But that's obviously different. That doesn't have to do with Ghana.
Found it.
Yes, I did, which was good. But that was definitely a little bit of a tricky part at the beginning of the trip. Just knowing where to go, for basic things like underwear and socks. And I mean, we asked around and not everybody knew, but I also think that that's a part of being in a different country and in somewhere where you're not familiar. And I have my bag now, so it's all's well that ends well, I guess.
So how soon did it take you to have your bag?
It took about 5 days, I think. It turned out it was in the airport the entire time, but the airline didn't know. So, yeah.
At least that should tell you that the country that you've entered are actually doing things. I mean, 5 days, it's quite long, but
Yeah,
you found it. All right, so you've come to Ghana. Someone told me off camera that there's something called tourist price.
Okay.
Tourist price in Ghana.
Yeah.
Have you faced that thing?
I wouldn't say that I feel like we've been, like, ripped off or anything. I mean, it's something that we talked about just kind of at the beginning of the trip. For example, like, when we pay, like, maybe, like, 42 cedis for something, we actually feel like we might as well just give them 50 a lot of the time. Just because it's kind of like our way of giving back as a tourist, because there aren't many tourists here. And that's one thing that's really stood out to us on this trip is how nice and kind everybody's been. So, I mean, I feel like the prices have been probably pretty similar to what it would be if I was Ghanaian, but I guess I wouldn't really know. But I think that a tourist tax isn't necessarily a bad thing. when you're welcoming us into your community and you're letting us kind of take in some of the resources while we're enjoying it. So I mean, I haven't really experienced it, but I also wouldn't have a huge problem with it.
Yeah, but people are also not happy with that because why should you charge a local, let's say 40 cities for something,
Yeah.
than a foreigner maybe 60 cities for something?
Yeah.
I think the passport traveler also told me that there's no way that maybe an African will go to the US and the person would visit a castle or any other tourist site, then they would charge the local person a different price, then the international tourist also a different price, of which this is not, the right thing to do. So the passport traveler actually bring this to my notice. Shout out to you. Upon you coming to Ghana,
Yeah.
what are some of the places that you so far visited?
So we first were in Accra, and then we went to Volta in Wili, and then we came back to Accra, and then we went to Cape Coast, and now I'm here in Buswa.
Phoebe told me that she also went to Volta region, Wili waterfalls.
Yes.
What is so special in the Volta region that I don't know?
Well, honestly, like when we were coming to Ghana, I was just Googling random things. I'm like, I don't even know where to go because I had heard of Ghana. I knew Accra was the biggest city, and I had heard of Cape Coast Castle, so I knew that Cape Coast existed. But beyond that, we had no clue. And I found other travelers like blog posts online to be the most helpful thing. And so that's how we found Wili. We heard about like the tallest waterfall in West Africa, and then the mountain Afajado. And that was how we found it, just online. That's been the most helpful thing. Just other people who have traveled to Ghana and just seeing what they did and seeing what sounded interesting to us.
Let us transition into a more serious conversation.
Yeah.
Have you visited the Cape Coast or Emina Castle?
Yeah, I went to the Cape Coast Castle the other day.
And you were told the story of slavery and colonization, right?
Yeah, we were. It was really interesting, especially being from America. We learn a lot about it, but we only ever learn about it from the American side. And so we learned a lot about the slave history and how it was kind of like a foundation in the building of America, but we never really learned about it from this side of things. And so I had no idea how many people actually never even make it onto the boat. And just understanding how large the impact was in that way, I think was the most shocking thing for me.
And you think humanity should be treated that way?
No, of course not. Yeah.
If you have a message for Africans, what are you going to tell them?
Oh gosh, that's a big question. God. I'm not even sure. I mean, it was really just mind-blowing to visit Cape Castle and to be there and to just know all of the history and how much I didn't even know beforehand. I mean, I think like I've been learning about it my whole life, and I feel like I still don't even fully understand it. I don't know if I ever will. And it's just incredibly sad and crazy to be here and learn about it in that way.
So would you ever say that you made a mistake coming to Ghana?
No, of course not. No,
Why not?
it was the best decision I've ever made, probably. I mean, I've just constantly been surprised by like from the people to the scenery, and just everything has been amazing. So I would definitely recommend anybody come to Ghana if they're interested.
Physician from Germany, and I really recommend look at VicemenTV to get some experience of this wonderful country where I'm happy to stay these days here.
Ghana is wanting to achieve, at the end of 2025, achieve at least $4 billion and also to attract at least 2 million international tourists. What is really going on within the Ghanaian tourism and hospitality space that wouldn't help us achieve this goal?
I think awareness, because I mean, I've traveled to other places that I was more aware of and that I know more people that have been to that have similar types of transportation to get around and similar accommodations available. Like, for example, Colombia in South America. I know so many people who have been, and part of the reason why I went was because I knew people who had been. And I find it just like getting around and the sorts of things that you can do, I find it very similar to Colombia. And part of the reason why I think it wouldn't really be on my radar to go to Ghana rather than Colombia is just, I mean, it doesn't really ever come up in the same way that it does for a place like that. So, I mean, just awareness and seeing other people go to Ghana and talking about it. Like when I go home and telling my friends and family about it, I think that that's the biggest thing, just because people are interested. I mean, I think that people are traveling now more than they ever have been. And so just knowing where they can go and what it'll be like when they go there is the biggest thing.
Ghanaian women. We're about talking about the Ghanaian women. Tell me, how do you see, what do you think about them?
They've all been great. I mean, I think that one of the things that talking about was I feel like the people here aren't very predatory in the way that they are in other places. Like, we haven't had anybody come up and touch us or anything like that. And I think that that's been a great part of the experience. That there aren't really people like harassing us or anything like that. So
What and what will make you marry an African or a Ghanaian woman?
it depends on who it is, I guess.
What have you discovered about the Ghanaian women that you think that, oh, because of these things, blah, 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 this thing will be one of the causative factors as to why I'm going to?
I think the friendliness, just because everybody's so nice and helpful, and I think that it's easy to meet people. Like, we've met so many random people on the way who have said that they want to be our friend, and they've been helpful and they've been kind. And I think that that's kind of like one of the better sides of Ghanaian culture, is that everybody is willing to be nice and have a conversation and become your friend. So I think that that would be one of the pros of it.
If you have a message for the people out there, people back home, with
Yeah.
regards to your journey or your
Yeah.
travel to Ghana, what would it be?
I think you should do it now. If you're going to do it at some point, you might as well do it now before it becomes overrun. I mean, do it while it's still authentic and it feels special, because I mean, I think that that's part of the coolness of being here. Just that nobody else that I know has been here, and so it's kind of like makes it even more interesting. Just to be here and everybody's like, "What? Why are you going there?" And it's like, "Well, I mean, I'm going to show them the pictures after, and then they'll know why."
All right. So I don't know what to even ask you. I have so many questions, but I don't want to ask you those questions. Looking at your stature, are you able to run? Can you run?
I can run. I can run.
Can you battle me 100 meters?
I don't know. I feel like you're going to beat me.
With your stature, I mean, we can do that. For the very first time on the channel, I want us to do this challenge, okay? When you're able to battle me,
Okay.
I'm going to give you 100 Ghana cedis.
Okay. Okay. And what if I lose?
Yes. What are you going to give me?
I don't know.
So I'm going to represent Ghana. You're going to represent the US, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is more like the Olympics. You're going to battle 100 meters. I don't know whether it's going to be 70 meters, but 100 meters. And let us see who is going to win.
Okay.
An extraordinary atmosphere for an extraordinary lineup in trying to find a way through. Can the Jamaican do it? Oh, it's so close. Kashane Thompson thinks he has done it by a whisker. Lyles was coming fast on the outside, but I think, what a final, I have to say.
He put it all out there for the world to see that he wanted to be the fastest man on the planet.
It was so close. But Lyles rings the bell. And there's Snoop Dogg in the stadium.
Subscribe to the channel, you comment, you like, and you share. Oliver, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Bye-bye.